Good day everyone, it is Jason van Heerden here, the registered dietitian at Irene Village Care, and today we are going to be talking about getting your hydration levels up. So guys, when we think hydration, I think many of us think water, good old H2O, and what about some people think about tea, about coffee, about soup, about smoothies, about maybe, let's say, your jellies or even your yogurts. Guys, those are ways to get your fluid levels up, and it does affect your hydration. For some of us know that if you're having too much coffee, that can also be a bit of a diuretic, so we need to look at those factors as well. But why is it important to be hydrated, especially in times where we're working so hard? So there are actually several studies that showing that even being 1% dehydrated actually severely affect our cognitive ability. So we obviously want our brains to be functioning optimally, and guys, to lose 1% of your weight in water is actually quite easy. Sweat, if you get to drink water, you're so active, you forget about these things. And guys, it can affect our ability if it's behind our brain ability, brain function. So that's sitting behind a computer. That can also be driving. They can even be decisions that you need to make on the sports field. So guys, it is so important to get those hydration levels up. But the thing that I want to start off with is that a lot of people don't actually know how much fluid they actually need. And when I ask a lot of people, how much fluid do you think you need? They normally tell me, 6 to 8 glasses a day, the 2-liter rule. Guys, that really applies to a surprisingly small population. Guys, a lot of us are actually not getting enough fluids in. And that's why us as dietitians, we look at you. We look at your needs. What are your fluid requirements? If you're active or not, and we look at your situation, how can we get those fluids in? It is very important part as it fits in with all our, with all our requirements that we need for you to be the healthiest person you can be, perform the best. But yes, guys, also another thing I just want to mention is that some people actually have to manage their fluid restriction as well. So let's say if you have extremely high blood pressure or, it's not controlled, or you need to look at your medication, some people with kidney disease, some people with certain heart conditions. So guys, just know, rather talk to a healthcare professional about how much fluid you should be getting in. Because let us now go into these wonderful, weird and wacky ways of getting that hydration up. So why do I mention weird and wacky and wonderful? And that's because we're going to be going through quite a few tips that have worked for me, that have worked for others, and that us as dietitians actually suggest. But maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 will work for you. But the thing is that we're going to be going through quite a few, and that's fine. That some of them will say, oh my goodness, Jason, not going to work for me. But let's go through the ones that will. So guys, let us start off. So guys, just to start off, one of the biggest components that us as dietitians look at is your environment. The thing is that if your environment is not supporting you, you are going to struggle. So let's say, you're in an environment where you don't have easy access to water, or if you're at work and you don't have a water bottle and there's not really a place to get water, or if you're on the sports field and there isn't a water fountain, guys, you're going to struggle to get your fluid in. So you really need to look at your environment. It really sets you up for success. But what can we do to put more fluids in our environment? So guys, I like to start off in the morning. I personally do it every morning, is that I like to wake up, have a nice cup of coffee. So yes, I get in a bit of fluid, but I actually put a water bottle there for me that I know, small water bottle, 500 ml, that I just chug off, to start off my day, because it's such an easy way to get my fluids in. I would highly suggest it. So that's way number 1, is that start off your day immediately within 5 to 10 minutes of waking up. Have water that's already there, the way you like it, that you can then drink from there. Way number 2, guys, I think many of you can think about this, and that is just putting an alarm on your phone. Sometimes we just get so distracted that even if we have a water bottle next to us, we forget. And sometimes just having an alarm that goes off on our phone, or every 45 minutes or every hour, whatever works for you, guys, put that alarm on. And also rather put those alarms on the night before, so that before you go to bed, you set off your alarm for the morning, but then you set it for the rest of the alarms for the rest of the day. Doesn't need to be super loud, but just make it, even if it's a vibrate, that listen, I have 2 seconds. If I had time to look at my phone and switch off my alarm, I have a time to take a bit of a sip of water. Number 3, guys, so what you can do is that also every time that you go empty your bladder, after that you can put something into your body that will fill it up again. So yes, many of us, we are going to the bathroom several times a day, but it is a habit, guys. We need to do it. It forces us to get up. So guys, what we do is when we're done going to the bathroom, we just have a glass of water. Let it be a bottle of water at your desk. Let it be that every time you go to the bathroom, you quickly stop by, let's say to by the tea station, or if you're at home by the kitchen, and quickly just get something to drink. Guys, make it a habit that every time you empty your bladder, that you try and put something back in, that you can always make sure that there's something going on, that you have this cycle and rhythm to get that fluid in. And number 4, so guys, I call it the elastic band habit with regard to the water. So guys, if I know that I need to drink 2 of these bottles for me a day, then what I would normally do is I would have 2 elastic bands. And guys, to have an elastic band around your wrist, it does sometimes get a bit annoying. So as you're working like, oh man, this elastic band, let me just drink a bit of water. And for me, it actually works quite well. So I normally put it on my wrist. If I find that I can't really put it on my wrist for whatever reason, I then just put it on. I physically put it on my bottle. So I know, listen, by the end of the day, once I've drank my whole bottle, I take an elastic band off and I put it down. And then later I finish my other elastic band. So I just make sure by the end of the day that I've had my 2 bottles of water. Of course, every person is going to have their own requirements. So guys, chat with a dietitian. Let us help you get the fluid requirements you need. I find that this is actually a good time to share that when we're exercising, even while we're swimming, we're sweating a lot. And we might actually need to take 250 mils, depending on the type of exercise and the heat and all those type of things. But we might need to actually take a cup of water almost every 15 to 20 minutes. Depending on how hard we're exercising. For some people, that might be up to basically 750 to 1,000 milliliters per hour. So guys, we need to get that hydration up. Quick little tidbit. Let's go to number 5. So guys, this is a bit more of a conventional one. I think many of us know for number 5, and that is, guys, just carry a water bottle around with you. So many people, if you're driving around a lot or you're busy and you don't have a water bottle with you, it might not be the most convenient to stop somewhere to get a bottle. Why don't you just have a bottle with you? Many people like their specific water bottle, they keep it with them. It's practical, it's a nice size. If you want plastic, if you want glass, if you want aluminium, whatever you like. But guys, keep that water bottle with you. Rather have it with you all the time. Guys, now we're going to go into number 6. And guys, this is a bit one of those weird and wacky ones, because it's actually quite funny that people that have suggested this too is a weird way to get it in. It actually works quite well. So you can actually get yourself a glass of water, or maybe a bottle. And because many people say, but listen, Jason, I need to always be working with my hands. I'm typing or I'm calling. I don't have time to actually really sip. So guys, really enough, I tell people, look, you can get yourself just a straw, put it down, and while you work, literally while you're working and looking at your screen, you can even just sip. And a lot of people say, listen, the next thing they know, the whole thing is empty, because they've actually finished the whole cup. And a lot of times, some people say, to drink a glass of water, it just takes my rhythm out of things. But if I just put my head down, take a sip, I can get those fluids in. So guys, very weird and wacky way, but maybe you are one of that 20 people that it works for. And guys, I really hope it does. Guys, let's go into number 7. So guys, number 7, and this is a bit more of a tip, and I find it quite often that people say that, look, Jason, but I actually don't like water. It doesn't taste like the water at home, or it's got a weird this, or the water at work, it's a bit dodge. But guys, the thing is, what you can do is, if you don't like the flavor of your water, the thing is, guys, you can even look at water enhancers. So guys, there are so many water flavor enhancers. I don't want to name the brands, but you can, guys, really look around. They're not expensive. They're small little things like this, like the size of a matchbox. And guys, you can get blueberry, lychee, mango, whatever flavor you like, and you just put a few of those drops in the water. You mix it. It basically tastes like cool drink. All that you've done, it is water. It is just a flavor enhancer. Sometimes you just get bored of drinking water and you just want a little bit of a flavor. Guys, my personal favorite, I like to have a bit of blueberry in there, mix it in there, and it's got that bit of a fruity taste. So guys, I like to drink that. It's an easy way to just change things up a bit if you get bored of water. So guys, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that you also need to look at the type of fluid you're getting in. So yes, guys, fluid includes water, it includes jelly, it includes even cool drink. So guys, one of the other ways that you can just get your fluid in, if you just like to have something a bit gassy and something a bit different, is why don't you get a zero cool drink? So let's say, even if it is cool drink itself, depending on how much exercise you're doing, but if you're worried about those calories, getting a sugar-free cool drink that you guys can just sip through the day. Basically, no kilojoules, and then just a great way to just get some fluid in. If you really don't like water, I've had many people that just don't like water, we need to look at certain foods and we need to look at, certain drinks that just to enable, to get those fluids in. So if you have to use cool drink, or if you have to use tea, if you have to use coffee, great. But just again, as I mentioned with the coffee, that, after a few cups of coffee, it does become a diuretic. But with tea, if you like some green tea or flavored tea or just normal rooibos tea or whatever tea you like, that is also a good way to just get your fluids in. So guys, again, change things up. You've guys got a hot drink, you've got some normal water, maybe some flavored drinks, get those fluids in. But on that, I actually want to jump onto types of food as well. So let's say you can even look at certain vegetables, like let's say cucumber, that are high in water. That is also going to help get your fluid up. Even if you look at certain fruits, fruits in general, but I mean, let us look at, let's say something like watermelon. That is also quite high in fluid, in those juices as well. Guys, all these things are adding up. And guys, you can complement those things with your training as well, if needed. Again, dietitian, we can work those things into your diet for you. Now, the next tip, guys, it really is such a weird and simple concept, but basically every single time that you finish your glass of water, you make it a rule that you have to fill it up. How many times have we been working and we're like, oh, I'm a bit thirsty, but our water bottle is empty, or our glass of water is empty, or our tea is done, and we're like, oh, I'm just gonna work a little bit more. But if it was there and accessible right there, we would drink it. So guys, what I would say, get yourself maybe a jug, or even a big water bottle that you fill up your glass of water with, that it's always there, that so as soon as you finish drinking it, you immediately fill it up. Not to say that you must take a sip again of it, but just that it is there, and it is just that psychological thing of just having it there for you to drink instantly. You remove the effort, you enhance your environment to drink more fluids. Guys, it really, really does help. Try it out. And guys, basically lastly, I just want to end off with this, and this really works for a lot of people, and that is they get a water bottle, and what they literally do is that they get those bigger water bottles, let's say the 1.5 or those 2 liters, or if they know that they're getting other fluids in the day through, let's say, some cool drink or some tea or whatever, and they know that, listen, my goal is to get those 2 liters or 1.5 liters or even 1 liter if needed of fluid into my water. What you can actually do is you can literally write there 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And even if you get busy and it is now 1, you're like, listen, I actually need to now drink for the last 2 hours. So to say, and you then get that extra fluid in. So guys, we really need to look at our environment. Where we're going to get our fluids? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Guys, set up your environment, have your fluids, make it practical for you guys. But again, it has to work in with your goals. If you have certain medical conditions, you need to either increase or decrease your fluid, chat with a dietitian. If you're struggling to get your fluid in, or if it's affecting your performance, or you're getting some, it's a heartburn or discomfort, or you just feel like you just cannot get your fluids in, chat with the dietitian, guys. I really hope some of these tips helped you. And guys, I only mentioned about 10 things here. Why don't you write in the comment section below what you liked and what you want to try and what actually works for you? Guys, please leave a like, please leave a comment. If you haven't, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay hydrated, stay well. Cheers. Bye.